Hello, once again, everyone. Ed here at Cloud What. Um, some of you know, well, a lot of you know because a lot of you actually see my posts not on YouTube but on other forums where I post the video. And I get a lot of comments on other like forums about some of my videos. Well, currently, the video I did about is the light workers uh, creating Mandela effect. Um, I posted it in one of the forums that I'm in, where it's mostly people who are in QHHT and BQH. Not strictly that, but that's the majority of it. And it's become kind of a hot topic over there of two different camps of where, some people believe that it's, being caused by the higher self, and other people are thinking it's partially us affecting it as well. And then there's other people who think it's just a psyop, it's something set up by the dark powers that are kind of trying to control our world at the moment. And I want to get your guys' opinion on it, because basically the idea is that, well, one guy, and I had to point out that that wasn't exactly the case, is like, well, it's only on stuff on the internet. He looked at a video, and if if he sees this, please post the video of your video where it says, Luke, I am your father in Star Wars, because according to him, he's got an original VHS that it still says, Luke, I am your father. And if you have it, please share it. But he's of the mindset that everything that is affected is only stuff on the internet. Well, I personally own a Ford vehicle, and I watched the logo change on it 3 times. So I would have to say, unless they're sneaking out to everybody's house at night and changing the logos on everybody's cars, that's not the case. It's not strictly something on the internet, especially. But it's not just that. Now, I also postulated in the same forum that if it is a psyop, then it's one of two ways. The fact that it could be something like the movie They Live, where they're overlaying our reality with what they want us to see and what they want us to hear. If you ever seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, basically it's a movie with Roddy Piper, where he wears a pair of sunglasses and he's able to see reality, which is basically just subliminal messaging on everything, saying obey, they're in control, you'll pay attention to what they say and do. And you're hearing the same thing, obey, obey. And you're not actually hearing and seeing what you think you are. So that's a possibility. I can accept that as a possibility. The other possibility is that the deep state, the dark energies, the alien AI, the dark forces that have infiltrated our world and have been controlling and manipulating us are so entrenched. And I've had this conversation with other people, as it could be a possibility. They're so entrenched into our world and our reality and controlling us to the extent that they can control what we think, what we feel, everything. That we are literally nothing, for all intents and purposes, artificial, just AI. Well, not even really AI, because if they're able to control everything we think and feel and everything else, which is the only other way that the Mandela effect could be a psyop, in the way of making us believe something that's not real. Because many people who have the Mandela effect see it change in almost real time. Some people have even seen it in real time. So it's not one of those things that you can just brush off. If you don't have that effect, well, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Great, maybe, I don't know. Because the people who are affected by it don't know what it is, and it does bring more questions. So if you don't have the effect of it, maybe you should just be happy and be in ignorant bliss about it, because Those of us who are dealing with it, like I said, there's a lot of controversy as to what's causing it. What's going on? Is it fake? Is it real? Are we being manipulated? Well, if we are being manipulated, like I said, if it is some kind of psyops, then they have to be doing it in an effect as to what we actually see and hear. If they have the ability to change that to the point where they can even control what we think, because it is very possible if you're going to that extent, then we have no free will. It's all an illusion and we're nothing but a simulation. And it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what we think, what we do, because it's all just going to happen anyway. And it's all pre-programmed. And, I prefer not to think that way. I prefer to think that the words and thoughts that are coming out of my mouth at this current time haven't been pre-scripted for me to come out with these words. But it's possible that it does. There's always that possibility. I've said it many times in many videos. The only thing I know is I don't know anything. So who knows what the reality is? Now, I choose to want it to be the other way. I choose to go along with the thinking that I have more control over my reality than that would be. Such as, even in the movie They Live, they were able to wake up to that reality. You can go and you can find evidence of them in early commercials having words that would show up in a subliminal way that told you the government is God, you will obey God, you love God, and that you would obey and behave and be a good puppet. And this was literally proven to exist. And you slow it down frame by frame, you can find it. And this is the stuff that the deep state, the dark entities, they've been in control for a long time. It's not something new. They've always had control. At one point, it was strictly religion. If you didn't agree, they killed you, literally. It was called the Inquisition. They would just go around starting killing anybody that didn't agree with what they want. Before that, it was the Dark Ages. Your Lord decided that, you weren't doing what he wanted, he'd just kill you. I mean, they've been in control in one way or another for a long time. It's just now that we've got enough technology and we're enough people on the planet that when they can't, start losing the ability to hide it, that it becomes very obviously quick, because we have the ability to communicate instantly. So I want to get your opinions. If you haven't seen the last video I did our light workers helping to cause the Mandela effect, go look at it. It definitely points out some good things as far as possibilities of what is causing the Mandela effect. If you have a different opinion, or you have a different idea of what might be causing it, or even a rebuttal, like I said, there's a heated conversation going over on a positive community about whether it's a psyop or not. I mean, it's one of those topics that is becoming controversial, and really it shouldn't be a controversial topic. We should be able to come with our ideas, and if you agree with it or not, maybe if you have some constructive criticism, put it out there, or if you have a different idea or a different opinion, put it out there. That's what we're supposed to be sharing information, people. The only way we're going to get anything accomplished and anything done is if we can share information without judging everybody else's ideas. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean it's right. Just because 10 people agree that one idea sounds better than another doesn't mean it's right. There's many ways to look at things, and everybody has a different perspective. So we have to start looking at things different ways, not as, well, my opinion's the right one. We have to start looking at it, well, maybe your opinion has some validity. Maybe it doesn't agree with, what I'm thinking, but that doesn't mean that I have to attack you for it. Doesn't mean that I have to put you down for it. Just because it's your idea doesn't invalidate it. Just because it doesn't speak to me doesn't invalidate it. If it's your truth, it's your truth. We can't continue to judge everybody for their ideas and their beliefs. and sit there and say, well, mine are the only one that's right. That's why we have communities like the gay and lesbian community calling out, attacking other groups because they want to be recognized, but you can't be recognized. That's why, you know, the feminist groups are basically trying to take the word man out of everything. Well, wait a minute. You want to be recognized, but in recognition, you also want to wipe everybody else away that disagrees with you. Well, isn't that what you're complaining is the problem, is that you're not being paid attention to? So you're very much a hypocrite if you do this whole, well, your opinion doesn't matter, only mine does. That's a hypocrite right there. You know? So, like I said, you know, we need to start changing our opinions on how we look at other people's opinions. You know, and what is causing the Mandela effect? I don't know. What's your opinion? Do you agree with it being a psyop? Do you think that other people are in control? Do you think maybe that the deep state is able to control our minds to that point where they can make us think whatever they want? And if that is the case, then how can you trust any information that's channeled, brought out through QHHT or BQH or any other hypnosis therapy, or even tarot, or reading constellations, any of the modalities that people use to divine information? How can we trust anything if the case is that they can control us to the point where they can manipulate even just what we hear and see all day, every day around us? How can we take any information that we get as legitimate? You know, if that is the case. And it's possible. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know anything. All I have is ideas and speculations. But if you look at the information out there, it is possible. So let me know what you think below. And until next time I'm out. Love y'all. Enjoy.